This is Tony Robbins, the Ultimate Breakthrough Challenge, Day 3, the best takeaways. Hello everyone, my name is Emily Joan Smith. I am a life coach for those people who are looking to go from survive to thrive. If you love self-improvement, I highly suggest you hit that subscribe button now. Day 3, by far my favorite so far. Today was all about creating your own economy. Tony said, if you are here, you are most likely one of those people who believe if you can do more, you should. If you can earn more, you should. If you can give more, you should. Tony Robbins started off by explaining how he had a lot of issues and problems himself in his own background, how he had not great beliefs about money from how he grew up, also how he would create more money but then felt like he was being judged by his friends. And as we explained in the last video, his degrees, his thermostat would bring him back to 68 degrees. He also explained how his mentor, Jim Rohn, said something that went in his head. And that was, we are all equal souls, but we're not all equal in the marketplace. A lot of today was explaining how you have to learn how you can bring more value to your own marketplace. This doesn't matter if you have a business, want to start a business, or are working for someone else's business. It's all the same. How can you bring more value to that place you are in right now? Because if you bring or add more value than anyone else, you will build a brand. One of my favorite things that Tony says is the biggest problem that people have is believing that they shouldn't have problems. However, if you look at anyone's past life who has gained success in business, in any other area of their lives, it is the problems that have strengthened them. It is the problems that make them who they become. In today's training, we had 2 live guests, and one of them is actually one of my favorite people for her stories and how she succeeded as an entrepreneur. These people were Sarah Blakely and Jessie Itzler. Now, Sarah has some of my most favorite stories. Her first story she spoke about was how her dad brought her up, because her dad gave her a real blessing in how to look at failure in a better way, in a more helpful way. Every week at the dinner table, her dad would ask her, how did you fail this week? And if she didn't have anything, if she didn't have an answer, he would actually be disappointed. How failure isn't the destination, but actually just part of the journey. I forgot to say, but Sarah Blakely is the founder of Spanx, and she shared with us another story on how she got her product into a really well-known store. She explained how when other people asked her in that area of business how she did it, she just said, well, I rang up and asked. And they were gobsmacked by this, because usually, to be able to get your product in that store, you would have to wait 5 to 7 years and go to stall events and trade shows, everything like that. But she said it was a blessing in disguise that she didn't know the right way to do it. So sometimes what you don't know in business can be your greatest asset. One of my favorite things about Sarah is she goes above and beyond. Now, a lot of people, Tony said, a lot of people, if they were to get their product into that store, they would just be like, yes, let's celebrate that and how awesome. However, Sarah, for the next 2 years, went to those shops where her product was sold and taught the people selling her product and other products how to sell her products, why they're so important. She would be in those stores selling to her customers. She would find ways to get her product out of the back and in front of more eyes because she knew how much this product could help other people. Also, when she first launched her product, it got a trial run in 7 different stores. She rang up every single person she knew in those places where those stores were, and she got those people to buy, to get all of her product. So she was sold out, and the store was like, oh my gosh, these are selling so fast. She paid her friends and family to buy those products. She went over and beyond to make sure what she was doing worked. Next, it was Jesse Itzler's turn to speak. And one of my favorite things is how he spoke about his wife. My favorite thing he said about his wife and her story, and why he loved her story, was because there's always going to be someone who's the best looking. There's always going to be someone who's the smartest or the best background for business. There's always going to be that person. But anyone can care the most. And that is why Sarah's business is the success it is today, because she cares so much. She cares so much about the people who she's making her product for. She cares so much about her customers. And that's what he loves most about her story. A lot of Jesse's stories came down to the fact of, you've got to put yourself in the position for luck, in the position for opportunity. That's not going to happen sitting down on your sofa. You've got to get out of your own way and create that opportunity for luck, because there is a lot of luck in business, but luck comes from hard work and putting yourself out there. He explained that a lot of the ways that he overcomes self-doubt, obviously he still feels scared and there's still fear there, but the reason that he overcomes these things is because he actually thinks about his death. No one signed up on this earth to be 80% of the person that they were. And also, in 100 years' time, he said, who's gonna care about that girl you asked out? Or who's gonna care about that business that failed? Or who's gonna care about this? Who's gonna care about that? Life is so short, and in the, whole of the universe and the whole of the world and the whole of existence, we're such a small thing compared to everything. And it's such a great thing to think about when you are fearful and wanting to step out of your comfort zone. He said it's so important to split up your big goals, because big goals can be so overwhelming. But if you take it step by step, if you break down each little part and take it step by step, you're gonna get there. Jesse explained this story of how he started his private jet business and how he went to this event where all these people, potential customers, were gonna be. Now, in business, he never negotiates his business goals. He was going to that conference and he was going to get his client. However, when he got there, he didn't have the credentials to get into the place. So he took himself to the nearest cafe and realized when it came to lunchtime that that is where all those people were coming from, to the cafe from the conference. So the next morning he got up at 5 a.m. and he bought all the muffins in the place, all of the muffins, absolutely all of them. And then when these people started to trickle in and ask for a coffee and the muffin, the barista was like, well, we can give you a coffee, but we're all sold out of muffins. And they were like, already sold out at 5 a.m. And as they walked out of the place, Jesse was like, oh, hey, I overheard you need a muffin. I have one. And he got into conversation with these clients, and he booked his first client from doing this. The moral of this story that he gave us was he didn't negotiate with his goals. He was going to that place to get a client. The what was never going to change, but sometimes the how is completely crazy. He said his biggest difference makers in his business were the things that were unplanned, the things like those muffins, the things he did not plan. The stage was given back to Tony Robbins, where he spoke about how proximity is power. Surround yourself with people. Put yourself in an environment of people who are going to support you, build you up, take you to that next place. It's so important who you surround yourself with. Tony said the 2 biggest things in business is A, know who your customers are. Know what your customer wants, Know what your customer fears, because most people are doing a little dance in between what they fear and what they desire. Know your audience, know your customer. And the second thing he said is always over deliver. Always give an offer that is irresistible. He said under promise and over deliver, because most people do the other way round. Tony explained that there's always another way to do things, especially when it comes to COVID, especially when it comes to circumstances. He said, don't be a manager of life's circumstances, create your own life. Thank you so much for watching. If you have found value from this video, please subscribe because it means the world to me. Like and comment if you were there for the day, for the training. Let me know what your biggest takeaway is, or your biggest takeaway from this video in the comments below. I will see you tomorrow.